Would you be faster to give away your raw footage or your raw photos?
I'm not giving away raw anything.
Okay.
We want to talk about red flags.
Yes, red flags with clients, to be specific.
Yeah, potential clients.
Potential clients. So,
What's a red flag? For me,
yeah.
right off the bat,
Uh-huh.
their approach, how they ask me to do work for them. It can be a red flag. For example, if they see me with a camera,
You stole mine.
just automatically, without asking, if I have social media or what kind of work I do, ask me to photograph some random thing.
That's a good one. You stole mine because that actually happened
because I think
a few days ago.
Yeah, because I think those types of potential clients, they are shopping for a certain price tag and not a certain style or specialty, which I understand in some cases, but I already know that that's most likely a client I don't want to work for or with, because my price is for what I feel I'm worth and for the expertise and experience I bring in what I normally do. And so if you haven't looked at my work, then there's no way for you to know that I would fit your vision or what you're looking for.
It's very rare that somebody's just off the street that sees you with a camera and is like, oh, I need pictures taken, that they're going to be an easy client to deal with or be able to not afford you, but like have to be interested in knowing what your style is. Does it mesh with
or
what they're
even
doing?
be asking you for a service that you actually do. Like we experienced not too long ago when we got I saw the camera in your hand, so I was hoping to get
Usually next
some
question
pictures taken.
is picture taken. You do weddings.
It's a red flag for someone to ask you to work for them without seeing any of your work.
Mine's kind of once you've gone the step, like you get a message on social media. And
So they've probably seen something you've done.
They have done, yeah, so they've done that immediately into like bargaining mode after you tell them a price. And I get that people have budgets, and a lot of times when I can sense that they're not going to be able to afford my rate, and if it's something that I'm like, okay, well, I want to do this is worth, I support whatever they're doing or whatever. That's what their budget is. But if they come right off the bat, and if they're aggressive about once you tell them your price, they're like, whoa, damn, that's too much. I couldn't afford you. That's obviously a red flag, and I do not proceed with that. I have had people, because there's a way that I have had.
There's ways to have those discussions.
There is, and there's a way to react. And I've had the phone calls with people that they're in a cover band and they want me to put together a like montage of things, and I tell them what it cost. And I've had people that are like, oh my God, that's just way too much, and they hang up. And I've had people that's like, I didn't understand what went into this. I didn't even know where to start. I apologize for wasting your time. Not wasting your time, but you know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, I didn't think about how much work it is to do this. I end the phone call with them, with us both having respect for each other. They didn't know. I let them know. When they overreact about the price, that's a big sign that you don't need to work with them.
They may not understand like the worth of the work and how much really goes into it.
Yeah, and usually you can tell the people that they didn't know. They didn't know that, oh, I want to shoot a talk show. Okay, well, that's going to cost you $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 just to set the setup. Like, oh, well, we got some iPhones. Can we make that work? And it's just like, they didn't know.
Another one for me is someone reaches out, they see other people working with me, and so they reach out and they want to work with me. But a very early comment in the conversation is talking negatively about another creator, like a local creator. I understand everybody's not going to have good experiences with everybody. I totally understand that. I understand that people's working style, creative style, lifestyles aren't going to coincide, or even like people's time frames or editing styles aren't going to be for everyone. But it goes back to hiring people for a price point and not for a style. But if you message me to do some work for you, and one of the first things you say is negative things about the last local creator you worked with, I have, a ton of respect for all of the other local creators and stuff. It's not a good impression to me, first impression to me. It does not make me want to do work with you if you're so quick to bash other creators to me. In the situation that's happened to me before, I know that that creator is talented. You know what I think is a green flag?
What?
For a client? Quoting their price, and they say, you should charge more.
It's almost an insult because it's like, you're not charging enough for what you're
I've
worth.
had a couple people who are like, I don't want to tell you how to, run your life, but you could be charging way more. And I have taken those people's advice, and I, increase my prices. It's a huge green flag when someone is excited about your work. Their message is, I love the stuff you've been making, and I want to be a part of that. What are your rates? How much do you charge? And you give them a rate, and they say, that's amazing. Please book me for these next 5 or 6 days, which has happened to me a number of times recently.
I think another green flag, and this is kind of after the fact, after the shoot, is when you get the follow-up message after you deliver the stuff, and they're like, oh my God, I keep looking at these. These are awesome. You make us look really good. You made me look really good. The video recap is awesome. Little things like that, I think, are huge, and I'm going to beat you to the chase on this one. Profile pictures, and they tag you in it.
Yeah, I've made a whole reel about that. I do
That's
love.
right.
I think that's such a big compliment when someone makes a photo you took their profile picture,
Yeah.
because everybody's making a picture they really like how they look in as their profile picture.
Yeah.
So I do love when that happens. If you changed your picture to a picture I took, I see it, and it really does make my day every single time. It never gets old.
I told Sam that my recommended people page on Facebook, because she deals with a whole set of people, especially musicians. I'm looking at them like, this is like a bunch of pictures Sam took in the thing. I was like, okay, look at you.
Look at me.
Look at you.
Flourishing.
Flourishing.
Mm-hmm.
Another green one, another green flag.
I would just say good communication in general, which I guess now we're just talking about green flags in clients and not even just potential clients, but someone who you send them stuff and they don't have to look at it right away, but even
Right.
like rather soon, and then actually telling you like, oh, these are great, some sort of response. Good effective communication is like such a good
Absolutely.
green flag, because you do get the rock stars who are terrible at communication.
I try to like give that back to clients.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send a like a reminder, a few days before I shoot, like, hey, just want to make sure everything's good to go for 3 to 4 on next Thursday at X place. And it kind of covers all the things that you need to know about the shoot. When I send off like something I'm excited about that I shot that I think is really good, and I send it off and I'm waiting for the read receipt to happen, and then like nothing happens, in my head I'm like, they hate it.
You're sending stuff at your own time.
Yeah.
So some people are busy, and
exactly.
Part of the good communication green flag is even just being like,
Take
can't
a
wait
look
to
at
look
it tonight.
at them. Yeah. And then you know that they read it. They didn't look at it and hate everything. They just haven't had a chance to look at it yet. And you'll get the ones that it will be days, and then they'll be like, oh, just got a chance to look at them, love everything.
Yeah.
But for those few days, you're like, holy shit, they hated every single thing I did.
It's totally in your head. Mm-hmm. It's totally in your head. I do the same thing. When I'm doing videos for like corporations and stuff, it's pretty common that the video has to go through a board of people, and then it's like, here's the revisions. But I'm talking about like the music stuff I do, where I'm like, oh, this is really cool. Look at this really cool thing we did. Red flag thing I thought of. Going back to red flag. This is a big one. I'll need all the raw footage when you're done.
I've got a couple my regular people that I work with, and they like to make little edits on their own, which I'm totally fine with. And something, and there's actually a lot of musicians too that use their stuff for social media. They love the recap videos, the sizzle reels, but there's a number of them who also want just like decent clips. Mm-hmm. They'll say like, oh yeah, you can send me the raw footage. Like, I like to make my own edit. I just say like, okay, like I'll send you a sizzle reel, I say 1 to 2 recaps, and then I send a number of just clips, and they're not raw. I try to explain, I can't send you raw clips because I color grade my
trying to explain to somebody what S-Log is not easy. That has no clue what it is and how to handle it.
Yeah. So I try to send like 7 to 10 that are just like clips that are good shots. and they're color graded, and then that's all I do. I don't do any like extensive editing on it. I just basically color the clip. I'll just cut just the little clip that's a good shot, color it, and then I export it in a size that's conducive for like social media. And so I'll put like I said, 7 to 10 of those clips in with the Dropbox as well, and so that they can use them in their little CapCut edits or trendy edits or even just story posts or literally whatever they want. And that seemed to be really successful for me. I guess I don't think it's a red flag that people ask for raws, but
can I rephrase the what makes it a red flag? If you're going into it knowing that they want, like, yeah, I want some little clips to post, that's not a red flag. The red flag is when you do an edit and that's what you were hired to do, and then they ask for it after the fact.
All the raws.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay, so red flag.
I mean, it's why do they want that?
Well, because when that happens, it's like, were they not happy with what I did? This is what they paid for. Maybe they weren't. Would you be faster to give away your raw footage or your raw photos?
I'm not giving away raw anything. Okay. When I discuss when I give my quote and I discuss what's included in that quote, I tell them this many recaps, this many edited photos, this many standalone clips, and that's what you're getting. I mean, I don't really want to send my raw like video of me accidentally hitting record anyway.
Exactly.
But
you're talking about you hit record when you
think you're hitting. It's backwards when you think you're hitting record, but really you're hitting standby.
I think everybody that does video knows exactly that feeling where you think you're hitting stop and then you hear the start sound and you're like, oh.
Sometimes like it shows you can't hear that sound. I don't realize it until I go back to watch the clip, and it's like nothing of the band. It's just me walking.
It's your feet.
Yeah. And so it's like shaking.
You like going in between people to try to get a better angle.
It's worse when the camera was like facing something and I was like, yes, I got that shot. Right? Yeah. And then I go and I like stop it and then I go to watch because I'm so excited about the shot, and I had it opposite. And there's no more letdown. Like, no, there's not a greater letdown than that. That's a red flag on my part.
That's a red flag for videographers.
Yes. Song of the week.
Song of the week.
What you got?
All right, I guess I'll go first since you told me to. I have Thrice's Hurricane.
Is that the song you listen to?
It's a song that I've made you listen to.
I liked it. That's the song though I select.
And it kind of, when I heard it, I'm like, I bet Sam actually would like this one.
Yeah, I did like that.
Huge Thrice fan, and kind of grew up with them, and they, to me, in my opinion, I feel like they've changed their sound so much, and a lot of people don't like when bands change their sound, but I grew at the same time I think they did as a band, so it worked out for me. The lyrics of Hurricane are extremely beautiful, and the lead singer of Thrice, if I had a wish to just inherit somebody's voice, it would be the lead singer of Thrice. Like, if I could just sing like him, that would be my wish. So Hurricane, super powerful song, love it. That's my song of the week.
It's funny that you're talking about his voice, because my song of the week is 10 by 10 by Pony Bradshaw. And I have on record said that Pony Bradshaw has one of those voices that's made to be on vinyl. Just absolutely insane. One of my favorite musicians probably ever of all time. I have yet to see him live, but I will. It's going to happen. I don't care how far I have to go. But I absolutely love a number of his songs, but 10 by 10 is one of my favorites. He's a really, really, really talented lyricist. Yeah. So his lyrics, I feel like, are really strong. They're intense. It's the sad music that a group,
the sad music.
It's sad music, but I think it's really powerful. I think it's always forever going to be at the top of my list. But I've been listening to it a lot lately.
Do you feel like you have like songs that are forever songs?
Yeah.
I have
a playlist of songs that are just like when I'm when I'm just in the mood to listen to my absolute favorite songs, I listen to that playlist, and it's all over the place, but because it's songs that I've liked for 10 years, it's songs that I've listened or loved for 2 months.
Yeah. Nice. Song of the week.
Yeah. Song of the week. Again, they'll be on the Between Takes. I couldn't remember the name of our podcast. It'll be on the Between Takes Spotify playlist linked below. Or whatever. Below.
Wherever it's at.
Wherever, yeah, in the description somewhere on whatever.
You'll be able to find it.
We'll make it easy for you.
Yeah, Sam will.
If you just look like a little bit, you'll be able to find it.